What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. And today we've got a quiet carry knife. It's not often that we get a chance to check out a quiet carry knife, but man, they make some awesome knives, and this one here is going to be a treat. Of course, I'll have this knife and every other knife you see in this video linked down below. Let's make sure we don't open it upside down, Miguel. There we go. And without further ado, here we are. Ooh, baby, we're checking out this new model. All right, we have checked out quiet carry knives before, but this one is something special. Now, the model name on this one is the Catch, right? If you know what I mean. If I understand it correctly, the Quiet Carry Catch. And I want you guys to catch a look at this thing because, man, for starters, you know, one thing Quiet Carry does is the micro milling on their titanium. First of all, is to die for. Right, so obviously really beautiful titanium. It's also a very polished titanium as compared to, say, like your B blasted titanium. This one is very silver, very polished, very shiny. Okay, and yeah, the micro milling right there. Look at this. Right, we got those diagonal lines. It's funny because the lines going this way, like that, don't necessarily cut the lines going the opposite way. So even looking at the detail is very cool. They always have the 4 dots. That's very iconic of quiet carry. And man, just the look, right, is amazing. Now on the other side, check this out. We have a combination of that same, right, diamond pattern, but then we have the very fine micro milling diagonal lines at the bottom with the 4 dots. Again, looking pretty good. Titanium pocket clip as well. Right, looking the best, and it is a frame lock, like we said. Thumb stud deployment here is your only deployment option. So let's go ahead, and if you're ready, I'm ready. Bam! Right, catch a hold of this knife right here. Stonewash finish, Vanex steel, and we have a nest muck. I was gonna say sheep's foot, but if I know my geometry the way I think I know it, which I really don't. Spoiler alert. Yeah, this definitely has a little bit of a smucky look to it. It's the fact that it goes up and then drops. That's what gives it a nice little smuck, nest muck look to it. It is a stonewash finish. It is a flat grind going on there, right? Very minimal on the billboarding departments. So Vanex is one of the very high premium steels, right? Most desirable premium steels you can get. It says quiet carry on this side, and that's about it, right? So very nice and tastefully done. We have a steel insert for steel on steel contact, and this thing is barely at, what are we saying, 20%, right? 20% or so. That's looking pretty good right there, ladies and gentlemen. Check that out. And we do have a little bit of a lower handle on the show side, so that gives you good access to the lock bar to be able to disengage. Oh yeah, that's nice and smooth. Also even have a cutout here on the lock bar itself, so it's even nicer and smoother to disengage. Yeah, just very simple and easy to do. And a little bit of a shake shutter. Is that what we have here? It doesn't fall on its own. You gotta give a little bit of a shake, and bam, there we go. I mean, I'm pretty sure this thing is barely breaking in. I'm sure as this thing breaks over time, it's just gonna get better and better. Reverse flick. Well, now I'm gonna use the meat of my middle finger. There it is. I was trying to do it off of the nail earlier, which is my preferred way, but I end up sliding off. So meat of the middle finger it is, and make sure you don't put pressure on the lock bar. And no, I'm just gonna stick with thumb deployment because it's getting a little bit uncomfortable there. I'm gonna give it one last shot. There it is. So you can do it with the meat of the middle finger. Not my most preferred way to reverse flick, so thumb deployment it is for me. But yeah, it's actually pretty good. Loving the acoustics there. Checking the alignment. That's looking pretty good. All right, you'll be the judge there. And yeah, ergos. Oh man, the ergos are going to be really good. This thing feels really nice on hand. Makes a great, really great EDC knife. Not only is it elegant, but it's also pretty good. You have all this jimping going on the blade here, and I almost missed this from the beginning, and I'm just picking on this now, guys. Look at the way they did the handle right here. That is dope. That is nice. So they gave you the same feel of an integral knife. All they did is they made this scale here, the show side, extend a little bit until it meets the non-show side scale, and then it makes it so that you still see the line, right? So still not one solid piece, but it gives you a good, comfortable grip, and also gives you the benefits of at least, you know, avoiding additional pocket lint and stuff like that going in there. like an integral knife would. So that right there is a nice little touch. Why don't more companies do that? I don't know, but this is a huge W in my book. Tell you that if all my EDC knives had that, that would be pretty cool. So that's a nice touch there. We got 2 body screws here. Everything is T8. So big hardware all around. I mean, come on, man. It's a gorgeous knife to look at. Like, I'm just looking at this thing and I'm like, Miguel, soft reminder, you're trying to make a video here, right? And I'm just looking at it, kind of losing my mind, going all mesmerized and stuff. But a little shorter of a pocket clip. I'm noticing that. And so, yeah, it helps with the ergos. Very, very comfortable. I'm going to give it a good 9 out of 10. Right, a perfect 10 out of 10 would be like a fixed blade with no pocket clip at all, but this is really as good as it gets. So, not to mention this jimping again. Like, I'm locked in with the little blade going up, Nesmuk style. Bro, that is where it's at, right there. So, really good combination right here. This is my kind of EDC knife for show, right? For show. So, let's do some size comparisons here really quick. Rapid fire. There's the MSI from Microtech. Here is the Stitch, right? These are some of my bigger folders for my big knife people out there. Miguel, where the big knives at? Where the big knives at? I got you, right? They're right here. Now, keeping it in America, we have the PM2. We got the Para 3. Para 3 still a little bit longer there. By the way, in case you're wondering, this quiet carry, I think most quiet carry knives are made in Taiwan, right? So they're not made in the US, but they're also not made in China. In case you're wondering, they're made in Taiwan. And they do a heck of a banging job, to be honest. I mean, this fit and finish rivals a lot of USA-made knives, right, if I say so myself. That's the 80-20.5. This is the Kunwu Chad. The 80-20.5 is also made in Taiwan, right? So they're probably, you know, like next door neighbors, what have you, as they're being made. But lame jokes aside, obviously the 80-20.5 comes a little bit closer. The Chad is a little bit longer. On the more budget end of things, we got the Civivi Vision FG. We got the Kizer Militaw. Right, these are going to be obviously slightly larger EDC knives. And last but not least, there's the Vosteed Porcupine. That's very comparable size-wise. Here's a CJRB Pyrite, which is going to be just a little bit longer there size-wise, guys. So hopefully you own some of these yourself. We'll give you more or less a ballpark where these land. I have content on all those knives here on the channel. If you guys want to learn more, all linked down below as well. But without further ado, let's get scientific with it here. Got a piece of paper, right? 5x zoom for some extra scientific points. And some first slices right here. Oh yeah, look at them swirls. Absolutely going to slice. Now keep in mind, this is a pass around knife, right? Shout out to Lefty for the opportunity. But look at this thing. Boom, bam. Obviously it's gonna slice that paper like nobody's business, you know what I mean? And then I got a dual wall piece of cardboard right here. This is not typically the cardboard I have around most of the time. It is somewhat of a more challenging piece of cardboard to cut because it's twice the material, but that's just going to be a true testament for this guy. So cutting at a diagonal angle instead of perpendicular for better performance, it's going to look something like this. Oh man, come on. It's like cutting through like a piece of butter, right? So look at that. Bam, boom, bro. I can't express how effortless that was. Hopefully that came through on video because I'm just putting the knife there, barely moving my hand. It's just going through the cardboard like nothing. So really, really good. Absolutely love Van X steel. And as you can see, this thing performs really good. Still holding a pretty crispy edge, it being a pass around knife and all. So you guys rate this thing in the comments on a scale from 1 through 10, 10 being the sharpest. You all let me know. Now some quick rapid fire stats for my knife nerds out there. We got the overall length coming in at 7 inches, and 7 inches is a pretty good spot. Think like Civivi Elementum, Kershaw Leak, all of those are 7-inch knives. Now for the weight department here, I'm going to take my best guess. I want to say this thing comes in at somewhere around 3.5 ounces. 3.5, 3.8. I don't know. Let's roll with it. Look at that. It was actually a little bit lower. So my first guess was a little bit closer. 3.2 ounces, 90 grams. I mean, what more do you want, right? It's pretty lightweight and also not too heavy. Pretty good for EDC. EDC knives this weight and heavier and even lighter all the time. So that's not a problem at all. Thickness here on the blade coming in at 0.10. It makes sense that it's so slicey because the average in the channel is 0.12 and the thickness on the handle is 0.44. with the average in the channel being 0.5. So there you go. Those are some stats right there, guys. That is the overview, raw first impressions video on this guy. The catch from quiet carry, right? What did you all catch from the video? Listen, I'm a dad. I can't help all these puns and stuff like that. But let me know, guys. What do you like about this one? What do you love about it? Is there anything you dislike about it? Let me know. Let's hang out in the comment section down below. If you found this video valuable, smash that like button. And keep in mind, this knife and every other knife you see in this video will be linked down below, so you guys can check out prices, availability, and variants. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Either this one or this one. Peace.